All right, what's up, YouTube? How you doing today? This is your boy Alex, and this is going to be another episode of Sex Game. Now, this is going to be a very, very incredible episode. I will put this on both YouTube channels. You know that old saying that when you get to the end of the year, there's an old saying: you start off the year big, and you finish the year big. When you play basketball, you start off strong. When it's time to end the basketball game, you finish strong. If you open, you have to close. There are good openers, but then there are people who can't close. There are people that can close, but they can't open. And it's the same thing with doing YouTube videos. Sometimes your best impression is usually in the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and then the end of the year. And the ones that people pay most attention to here on YouTube is how strong you started in the beginning and how you finish strong at the end of the year. These are one of those it makes and breaks types of videos because people will always remember the videos and they'll always, tell you if you did good or if you did bad. There's always room for improvement. All right, this one's a very tough one to put the list together, but I had to make this list like 4 times. So I understand if some people get angry and upset. Like I told you in all of my YouTube videos, sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days, sometimes I make you the best videos, sometimes my videos are not that very good, sometimes they're better than expected. Then I have some videos that they're obvious they were going to be good, or they were obvious they were going to be terrible. Then I have videos where you don't think they're going to perform good and they perform better than expected. And then I have some videos that for whatever reasons, explain or not explain, they unperform. Then I have some videos that were never ever supposed to be any good and they just blew up. And then I have some videos that you expect to blow up and they didn't blow up. So I've experienced all 6 different scenarios. It's 2020. The year is pretty much over. There's like less than maybe another 5-6 more days left in this year. And before it'll be a brand new year. And before it's a brand new year, why not go out and try to finish strong? It's like basketball. There's 4 quarters to a game of basketball. Everybody does good in the first quarter, second quarter, the third quarter, the game gets very tight. But the fourth quarter is the most important quarter of all in a basketball game. And it's the same thing with YouTube. So a lot of people are going to hold me to this regard if I don't deliver on finishing strong in the year. Last thing you want is to mess up at the end of the finish line. And then when it gets to a brand new year, you struggle at the beginning of the first lap in a race. Those are figure of speeches. Those are catchphrases. All right, the title of this YouTube video is going to be called Sex Game, the Sexiest Women in 2020. For women and for men. Now, this video is for both, okay? This is for women and for men, young or old, black or white. It's going to be on both YouTube channels. Now, this was a list that took me a long time to get to. It took me a whole year to figure out how I was going to do this video, how I was going to give off a proper send-off and set myself up for January 2021 with fresh new content for both women and for men. This is going to be the sexiest women of 2020, okay? We're talking about the best of the best. We're talking about women and men who will enjoy this list. These are the women that people say that when you hear their names, you see their movies, their television shows. It's a consistency of all of that. Sports, television, film, music, it don't matter. They're all on this list. I only have 11 spots. I could have made it 12 or 13 spots, but I didn't want to make the video drawn out and too watered down. I wanted to get straight to the point. Sometimes I talk too much. Sometimes I go on and on and people be looking at me like, bruh, stop talking and get to the subject matter. So we're trying to do just that, get to the subject matter and not talk too much and ramble on. It's 4 minutes on. That's enough rambling on. So it's going to be the sexiest women of 2020, okay? So keep in mind, this is only part 1. If part 1's very successful, you know the drill, we'll do a part 2. Part 2 successful, we roll into part 3. I think it might just get 2 videos, to be honest, to tell you the truth. It's not a 100% guarantee if I do a part 3, so don't be surprised or shocked if it's just 2 videos and 2 videos only. It's because we got a few four or five, maybe 6 days left in 2020, and I just want to finish out the year so we can get to the new year with fresh new content. All right, coming in at number 11 is Arita Fukusgima. Sorry if I messed up the last name. She is a beautiful, attractive Japanese actress who's been in Hollywood for about almost 2 decades. She's been in a lot of films, a lot of television shows, but you should recognize her from a show called Arrow. She was on 2 seasons of Arrow. Like, she appeared in the first season of Arrow, then she had an actual debut in season 3, and then she came back for season 4. So she actually been in at least 3 or 4 seasons of the television show, but then she really got her acting ability when we saw her in The Wolverine. You know, very physically, very sexually attractive. Like, this woman's been in a lot of martial art films. This woman's multi-talented because this woman don't just do acting in television and film. She actually is a very good artist because she does other work besides just acting. And you would never know what type of actress she is because she could play multiple characters. And to me, she embodies what a beautiful, attractive Japanese woman looks like in modern today's society. You know, she has class, she's humble, she's quiet, she's very beautiful and attractive, and she's not afraid to open her mouth and express her opinions, good or bad, and she knows how to improve on her acting. Her timing in The Wolverine was good. The only thing that I didn't like was they kept pushing her to the side in the movie, and it would have been nice to see them make an actual Wolverine film where it's just her and Wolverine, because there's that big gap missing between the Wolverine and X-Men Future Days Past. But in that short period, she had a lot of good fighting scenes, a lot of action scenes. Some of the best sword fights were her fights. Like, when you saw her on screen, that scene where she comes in the barn and tells the bad guys, you know, you need to leave, and she goes in there and takes the bad guys out, and Wolverine is surprised that she can fight, and the fact that she could predict things before they happen, like, every character she get, yeah, there are similar, but at the same time, you see the beauty in all those characters. Like, you could see why a guy would wanna learn how to speak the language and learn the culture, and that's what she represents, her culture. She brings that out in her characters as well as real life, and what's more physically, sexually attractive than that? Coming in at number 10 is J-Lo, or you could say Jennifer Lopez. You don't make a list called the sexiest women in 2020 without including Jennifer Lopez. Right, mamacitas? Right, LA Mami? J-Lo has been in the game for like 3 decades. She's a triple threat. She's been in movies, television. She's hosted television shows. She's been on American Idol, America's Got Talent, Do You Think You Can Dance? So technically she's been on 3 television shows. She's wrote books. She's even been an executive producer. She's a mom. She's everywhere. And she's in her 50s, and men still find Jennifer Lopez very physically, sexually attractive. Like, she looks good for her age. She's still in athletic shape. She eats her fruits and vegetables. She drinks a lot of water, and she's going strong. And she represents the culture very well because no matter what the time period is, she always reinvents herself and goes out there and competes like a superstar. And she is able to, you know, prove the naysayers, the skeptics, the critics wrong when they say she can't do something. She goes out and she does it. You know, now there'll always be that small minority group that player hate, and this woman is still making songs, which is oppressive. You know, she can go out there and still sell out crowds, you know, nationwide. You know, no matter where she is, it don't matter if it's the Super Bowl, the World Series, the NBA Finals. It could be WrestleMania. She puts her game face on. She goes out there and she puts on a show like a superstar. And what person don't like a superstar in Jennifer Lopez? Coming in at number 9 is Halle Berry. Yes, there are a lot of men that find Halle Berry very, very physically, sexually attractive. You could say a hot mom, you could say a cougar, been in the game for 3 decades. We all know her as Storm. We saw her as Catwoman. She was in the James Bond movie, Monster Ball, John Wick 3. She likes action movies, okay? She likes to go out there and kick ass and take names. And what man don't find a woman like Halle Berry very physically, sexually attractive that likes to go out there and do action packed films? You know, she can play any genre. She can play science fiction. She can play a thriller, a suspense thriller, comedy, an action comedy. You name the genre, Halle Berry can play the genre. You know, and it would be nice if she won a second Oscar because, you know, she won one, but it'd be nice if she won 2 or 3 Oscars. And she's very talented, you know, very physically, sexually attractive for her age. And a lot of men still find her attractive. A lot of men are still asking her out to lunch and dinner. And that's an impressive resume because she's done so many films and she's done voiceover, she's done anime, she's done comedy, she's done action. You name it, she's done it. And to me, that's somebody that if you're a black woman, that's someone you should be proud of because Halle Berry opened the door for future generations to come in there and bring something new to the table. She got to play these over-the-top, larger-than-life characters. Like, she played Catwoman. She got to be in a James Bond movie. When you get to be in a Catwoman movie, an X-Men film, and then you get an Oscar, and then you go even higher than that, and you get a James Bond movie, you're done pretty good on yourself to get onto this list. So you got to remember, you got to pay some respect to Halle Berry. She came in the game. All right, coming in at number 8 is Michelle Rodriguez. Now, she's one of my favorite actresses. Yes, I like her because she did a movie called Girl Fight. I liked her in the Robert Rodriguez's Machete films. And I've always said it that you could take her characters out of those movies and give her her own movie. I find her very physically, sexually attractive. The aggressiveness, the sassiness, the talk back. Like, some men don't like when women talk back. Me, I like it because it's sassy. And to me, that probably might be why I watch all the movies, because I expect her character to be a badass. You know, the first Resident Evil film, then she came back for a future Resident Evil film. We all know those films weren't that good, but some of the best parts of those movies, she was in them. She got to be in Avatar. I know some of y'all probably don't remember, that was like 13 years ago, but she was in Avatar. But we do know her work in Fast and Furious and in Machete, and those are the best franchises that she's been in. And if they make a Fast and Furious spinoff called The Rise of Letty, well, why not go watch it? I mean, she has enough star power to get people to watch her movies. And to me, Fast 7 to me was like the best movie because they took her character in a new direction and made her character have more personality and more depth. And she was able to make her characters expand. Like, she made these characters three-dimensional because her characters were going further and further than what we had thought. And to me, I actually like her character from Machete as much as I like Letty. Both characters are badasses. Both characters can get their own movies, their own spinoffs. And you may never know, she might start producing and directing one day in the future. She's even been in music videos. And on top of that, this woman knows how to do some martial arts. That's impressive. Coming in at number 7 is professional wrestler Sasha Banks. Oh yeah, you didn't think we was going to get the boss chick? We got to have the boss chick on here. Black women like the boss chick. I like the boss chick. And this is the cousin of Snoop Dogg. And it's the boss chick. Now, she's been doing professional wrestling for a long time. Her career's taken off. She's in the Mandarin. And to me, I could see her get into the movies, the television shows. I've talked about Sasha Banks before, and we got her on the list. She's very physically, sexually attractive. She's very an exotic beauty. And this is a woman that should get a lot of credit and a lot of respect because this woman has been injured. You know, she's injured herself just to entertain people, you know, to go out there and have the ability to attain millions and millions and millions of people and then to still be physically, sexually attractive and look good kicking ass. Well, what more could you possibly ask for? So that's probably why we have Sasha Banks on the list. That's one of my female professional wrestling crushes. Every man has a crush, whether it's an actress in television and film or movies. In this case, Sasha Banks is one of my favorite crushes. She's one of the few women professional wrestlers I actually would want to meet in person. Coming in at number 6 is gonna be Florence Purge. Sorry if I butchered her last name. You should know who she is because she's played the twin sister of Natasha Romanoff from the hit movie called The Black Widow, which we have yet to see. And to me, she's very physically sexually attractive for a foreign woman. You know, we can't just do a video and not include no foreign women. It would just be rude and disrespectful, right? This is to represent all women. This is to give all women respect and credit. Not just somebody I find physically sexually attractive, but it's to represent all women. You want a positive representation. So she is good because she brings that uniqueness to the character that she plays in the movie. And quite frankly, she's been in other movies before this, but this movie's got her put out in a way where now you're going to take notice that she's got good chemistry on screen with Scarlett Johansson. All right, coming in at number 5 is Lou Fefay. You probably don't know the name, but you probably have seen the movie, and you've probably seen her in other movies and television shows. She played Mulan. Now, say what you will about the movie. Please don't ruin the movie for me because I have not seen it. It's out on DVD. I will eventually work my way to see the movie. Now, she embodies what the character is. If you ever seen the cartoon of Mulan or ever read the book, she embodies it. This woman got into athletic shape. This woman had the look. This woman did the sword fighting. This woman did the martial arts. She did the dangerous stunts. And the fact that she's a very physically, sexually attractive woman is incredible. And this makes you want to watch the story of the movie. I apologize. My friend keep calling me. I don't know why. But you got to watch Mulan. All right, coming in at number 4 is Gal Gadot. Now, I like her. She's from Israel. She was in the Israel army for 2 years, and she has special martial arts training. It's why we saw her in the Fast and Furious films and other action films like it. And, of course, she did a Wonder Woman film. And I know some people are probably going to be like, man, don't watch Wonder Woman 1984. To me, the movie, I will get to that. Eventually, I will make a movie review about it, but besides that, she's a very talented actress. I mean, you can't take away her acting performance from any of these movies. Every actress has had good movie roles, bad movie roles. They've had movie roles that are better than expected, and she'll bounce back. And what I like about Gal Gadot is that all she does is learn how to adapt to situations. And that's why I find her very physically, sexually attractive. She can play multiple characters from multiple genres. You know, she's not just this person that we see as eye candy and that's it. She's more than that. She has way more talent than that. You know, she's taken serious. Otherwise, she would have never been cast in those roles in the first place. And I know some people are kind of upset because they heard the announcement that she's going to be playing Cleopatra. I'm curious to see what she brings to that approach of playing that character. They've remade the movie half a dozens of times. Let's see how this interpretation goes. It might be better than expected. Coming in at number 3 is Zendaya. Oh yeah, we gotta have Zendaya. That's one of my all-time Hollywood crushes. Every man's gotta have a crush, and then there's an all-time crush. Now, I like the fact that her character is gonna have more to do in this Spider-Man 3. Hopefully, they expand on her character. Hopefully her character has way more involvement than she did like in the first and second film. And she's very physically, sexually attractive. Very exotic beauty, can do movies, television, music, modeling, whatever she wants, sky's the limit. She's a part of a big franchise. She's going to be a part of bigger franchises, you know, and I can't wait to see what she's going to bring to her character when they do Bill Kill Volume 3. It's been confirmed she's going to be in her own franchise. So her career is taking off. Her career is on fire at this point. And if you're not a fan of Zendaya, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Coming in at number 2 is Ella Grande. Why? Because this is also another one of my crushes. I mean, the woman's just cute. The woman's hot. She one of those beautiful, attractive women that could do something wrong and have a nice innocent smile, and because you find her attractive, you basically let it pass. Now she's put out like at least 5 albums. You know, she's racked up some Grammys. She's hosted a lot of shows. She's been at the NBA playoffs, the NFL Super Bowl, and this woman is in the prime of her career. So congratulations to her, getting engaged to get married. But she's on this list because she is like the it girl. I mean, all the superstars that came before her, like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. She's on that level. And to get to that level in such a short period, you have to do a whole lot of stuff. This woman can sing. She can kind of rap a bit. This woman can dance. This woman can do multiple projects. She has multi-talented. She's getting into the movies and the television shows. She's someone that if you made a movie or a television franchise, she would be your main character. It would be Ella Grande. Now, coming in for the number one woman of 2020, that is the sexiest woman of 2020. Now, this one was a tough one to call because I was going back and forth between this one. It's going to be Scarlett Johansson, aka the Black Widow. Now, why? Because everyone is anticipating the movie. And the reason why we got her at number one is because she's been beautiful for so long that men just gravitate to her. Like that's why all her movies are so successful, because everyone supports Scarlett Johansson no matter what movie role. Like Lucy, everybody saw Lucy. It was that big of a movie. Everybody saw Ghost in the Shell, even though some people did not understand the story of the movie. Scarlett Johansson made you come watch her, so she did something right. Then we see her get her own movie, Black Widow, and guess what? We all want to see the movie Black Widow, because why? It's Scarlett Johansson. She can act multiple characters, no matter what the genre is. And her portrayals in all these movies, we just happen to gravitate towards it because it's Scarlett Johansson. So she gets number one because it's called what? The sexiest women of 2021. Now, depending on how successful this video is, we could come back with a part 2, maybe a part 3, who knows, maybe in 2021. I take the same concept and do that again with a different group of people. Until then, peace.